All right, welcome to Mage the Ascension Technogate 2000. We should probably fix that on here. Oh,
I'll get it.
2000. 2000. Ooh, what happened?
When you're not talking about that.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
What happened to this? There it is. Oh, you're manipulating it too. There we go. Okay.
No, I can't.
I
Oh,
think
no,
we
no,
got
I'm doing it.
it.
Oh,
All right, we are Technogate 2000. 2000. 2000. All right, now it's just going to be Mystery Science Theater 3000. So we're just going to jump real
2000,
quick.
2000.
2000, 2000.
Switch genres.
All right, so we are back. We've taken a little bit of a break, and we are starting up our new season. Our heroes had just got done, basically blowing up Altered Earth and possibly the Nameless along with it. Tycho's father is hopefully safe somewhere with Sosi, the spiritual car that Tycho Vance had his hands on. So the heroes kind of got hit by this shockwave and kind of threw them off in the time into like a time warp kind of thing where now it's been about a year. It's like July of 2000, and they find themselves back at Technogate, and it has been decommissioned. The entire facility is basically shut down at this point. They're on like emergency power. The gate is shut off. It turned on for like a very small amount of time to like pop you guys out, and then it just completely shut off. It's possible that you might be able to get this back up and running, but you guys are gonna have to kind of mess around with that. We're saying that a couple days have kind of passed while they're kind of getting things like main power back up online, the mess hall back up and running, the quote unquote replicators. And I'm going to say you guys also found like a teleportation room. And you guys were able to get one of the teleporters working. So you guys have a means of teleporting in and out of the base at this point. Also, Robert Kell is currently on a mission where he is going around the world investigating into the mages and the technocracy and kind of getting a world eye view of what's going on, and is going to relay that back to the players. And so he will be out for the beginning of this season. Hopefully we'll be seeing him later this season return. So let's kind of start this off. We've got our three heroes that are going to be partaking in our journey today. So Tycho, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your character and what does he look like?
Tycho Vance is a late 20s white male, kind of tall and lanky, about 6'1". Probably hasn't cut his hair in a while, so I usually say close cropped, but now it's kind of shaggy, a couple inches long now. He's still wearing his retro futuristic kind of metallics, but now that he's on the base for a few days here after that traumatic experience, I think maybe he's mellowed out a lot on that. His background is that he grew up in this construct. His mother was in charge of research and execution, the gadget department, and his father was the legendary adventurer Buck Samsonite, who we met last season, finally finding him on Altered Earth. At the age of 18, Tycho went on a little adventure with some werewolves that ended in tragedy. And when he came back from that after a few years out in the Umbra with them, his mother got him a job at the construct on Technogate 42, which I guess, are we still Technogate 42? Or are we just, I don't know.
Yeah, that's up to you guys whether you want to continue to call yourself Technogate 42. I mean, you're still at the Technogate facility, but maybe you want to be Technogate Team 1, you know. So awesome. Thank you, Tycho. So Phaedra, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character and what does she look like?
Phaedra is also in her late 20s. She's a 5'8", African American female. I think she was originally rocking a fro, but now she's braided it up. She's doing dreads in a bun, black slacks, a generic raggedy t-shirt she got from some type of bin at a discount store, a white lab coat, and a like filled to bursting black fanny pack with vials and tools and stuff for her to use. Uh, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Phaedra. And Malakai, tell us a little bit about your character and what does he look like?
Yeah, Malakai is the security. Well, I suppose everything's changed now. It's all in flux. Who knows how he's going to handle this this timeness that's going on? But he came up using guns, and I'm sorry, he got the job using guns and manipulating power systems. He's 6 foot tall. He's got shaggy hair. Generally dresses casually unless if he's on mission. Likes to wear just a lightweight jacket and jeans. Now that he's no longer under deployment from the Technocracy, there's just a whole lot of questions about him. But right now, he's just going to keep the people that went through hell together safe and go from there.
All right, so we find ourselves inside of Technogate. You guys have a teleporter, you have a replicator that gets you guys some food, and you guys have, you know, partial main power, you know, above sea level, which, you know, there's no sea level, but whatever, you know, like half of the place is basically up and running again. Um, you know, lights are going, you've got computer panels and stuff like that. You are running off of like a node generator basically that is going to take quiescence or TAS in order to continue powering it. But you've got, I'll say, like a 6 month supply right now, so it's not something that you're immediately worried about unless you need to start stealing from it in order to power something else, you know. Or if you churn back on the gate, like the gate probably will require more power or might cut you down on how much you have of power. We'll say that it takes off like a day every hour that it's activated or something like that. So it's pretty power hungry if you want to try, and you don't even know how to turn on the gate yet. You'd have to do some investigation into that. That seemed like a bigger project than something that could be done in a couple of days. So let's go ahead and start this off. Tycho, Phaedra, and Malakai, do you have any major project that you guys want to work on right away together as a team, or is it individual projects that you guys are going to be trying to do on building back up the base?
I think we should talk to each other first and ask what's the plan.
Okay, well
All
let's
right, so yeah, let's start you guys off at the dinner or at the breakfast. You guys are sitting around. You guys just got your replicated food. It's probably like 9 o'clock or whatever, and you're just, you know, sitting around the cafeteria and talking to each other. Feel free to switch up the place if you guys got something better.
sure. I mean, I'm not sure how much we would schedule our time at this point, but
Well, it happened. Just
I'll say, I'll
luckily,
say
you know.
we're all just randomly there at the same time. We feel feel obligated to sit with each other for a reason. Um, But yeah, so I think I might be able to get the gate working, but I'm not sure how urgent that is. We've got food and shelter, and I think I'm fairly certain nobody knows we're here.
It seems like nobody knows that you're there, as far as you guys have indications.
Yeah. I've already told you guys that once we get situated here, I'm gonna go looking for my mom, but I want to know what you guys are planning. I'm here. I'm here for you guys. I'm gonna stick around until whatever.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're going to need a location that we can teleport to out of the base. Some kind of like safe place so we don't scare people when we just suddenly appear. And barring the paranoia, your old home, your folks' old home, the place where you grew up, that might be a good house to utilize for that fashion.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. There's a big garage there. There's. Wonder if my mom left the cars. How many did she have again?
Oh, like
Out
5.
of game.
She has like
30 or something.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, we'll say 30.
The big garage of cars that she never
Big,
uses.
big garage.
Yeah, for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a whole thing.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving episode.
Yarr.
But yeah, Phaedra, anything you're working on that you need help with?
Okay, so the plan is we're going to use your mom's house for part of the teleporter. Do we need funding?
You need tasks more than money at this point.
More than money.
You have like 6 months. Basically, you have like 6 months of fuel, and you'll need to find. But you guys do have like a portable node. I don't remember if you guys brought that with you or if it was left at Phaedra's. But in either case, you would have access to it, which could probably help you substitute how much power you need to run this whole crazy. I mean, basically the entire base itself is one giant artifact that runs off of quiescence, basically. It can on low power. It can be you can get like emergency lighting and some basic power to the place, but the elevators don't really work or the turbo lifts or whatever. The most of the computers don't run the way that they're supposed to. Don't have access to the shit that they normally would have access to unless you're pumping quiescence into this. So primal energy is kind of required in order to power the base to its fullest capacity, and you guys are kind of doing that. And you got about half the base running right now because you could probably even cut that down to like just 1/10 of that, where it's just like the mess hall, a couple, like a laboratory and a couple other things. But you guys got about 6 months of fuel right now running at what you're currently running at.
Okay. I think we took the portable node with us on the spaceship. Oh,
We
also
did.
it didn't. Where? Oh, maybe we need to find the spaceship because I think we left a vampire on it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did we leave a vampire with
Yeah.
some people?
He's sleeping.
He was
If that
sleeping when
makes
we
it
left a year ago.
yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah.
put. I'd have to do the math to see how long he stayed under for. I feel like they would notice after a while to go into my lab and see a guy and just like jettison him out into space. That'd be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's somebody on there on the ship that was all like, "No, we should talk to him. Let's find out who he is."
go full aliens and is like, you can't leave anybody behind.
Wait, was
Fuck
was he
protocol.
sleeping?
Yeah, he
Was
was
he sleeping?
under. He was basically
yeah.
put into a coma.
Yeah, we had the other vampire on the ship for a little while, but then he got off at the meat planet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
he
the other
started the
one,
black hole. Yep.
yeah, and the other one that was sleeping, we went into his head that one time and saw,
I think his name was Kyle.
like, yeah,
He was a
Kyle.
scholar. Didn't he have a big old book that he was like taking notes of everything that was happening all the time?
I would really
Yeah.
love to have him back again.
Well, should we put that on the list of things to do? Is find the ship?
We should. I feel worst case scenario, he's going to be driving the ship around with all the crew dead or ran away.
I mean, it would be on his best interest because his food is those people on the ship, basically. He wouldn't
Yeah.
kill them all.
So yeah, he's got a little farm going. There's a little greenhouse down there on the ship, and growing his own food. You know, it's
Who were
It's a
those
nice
two
living.
ensigns that were so helpful?
Oh,
Lysander and the girl, whatever.
Where was the last time that you guys were on the ship? That was to get to hell, right? Or to the dunes.
No, didn't we take the ship to the shields around Altered Earth?
No.
No, you
It
guys
wouldn't have been
teleported
there.
in from the desert.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have
Josh,
been.
Oh yeah.
I want to believe that I would have taken that note off and put it in my house. Just because
I'm
of
fine
my
with that. I'm fine.
110% paranoia. And I also was like, the Technocracy's trying to kill us. I want all my shit.
I'm fine with that, you guys. And
Okay.
we'll say, I'm gonna say this just to, even though it would be kind of interesting to have you guys try and figure out what's going on in space with a vampire or a Malkavian vampire being lost in space on a spaceship, possibly sounds kind of cool. More than likely, you would have probably pulled off, if you're gonna be paranoid like that, you would have pulled the vampire off as well. But the vampire is missing. So
Yeah.
it just missing on Earth. Your place got demolished. And he is not part of the warehouse full of shit that you have.
I would be
Okay,
very surprised if he was.
So we're gonna do a retcon here where the portable node is in the quote unquote storage unit somewhere, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we took a sleeping vampire and put it where?
Well, there was you took the sleeping vampire and put it in Phaedra's place, and then he just disappeared after that.
Oh, okay.
So maybe he got killed in the demolition, or probably not. So probably there's just a vampire running around. He just probably got free.
And I'm just hoping that if he woke up and walked out on his own, he does not know who we are. That's all I want to know. but that's just my
he's a
wishful
Malkavian.
thinking.
I can't guarantee anything.
I know.
He might not remember anything. He might remember everything. He might remember more things than actually happened.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what a Malkavian is.
True.
So,
I don't believe you guys have researched that deep into vampires. But you do know he's fucking insane. Phaedra might have done some research, but
I probably only know like 2 or 3 of the classes. I'm not sure if it's Malkavian.
I only know that they're hard to kill. Gotta respect them.
Okay.
So,
okay.
some stuff that we can kind of get out of the way then, real quick. If I believe that there were some objectives that you guys were putting down. One was to check out Malakai or Tycho's house, his mother's
Tycho's
house,
mom's house.
right? Phaedra, I'm guessing you're going to be probably getting everything from your warehouse into Technogate, or are you setting up a new safe house outside of Technogate?
I'm putting do I want to put all my eggs in one basket? For now,
Uh,
yes.
do we have a reliable teleportation location yet?
I mean,
That'd be your mom's place.
100% no, but you could just teleport into, yeah, I was just about to say, you could just teleport into your mom's place if you want.
Okay, so once we make sure that my mom's house is safe, then we can go get the stuff out of storage, bring it to my mom's house, teleport it back to uh, the construct.
Also, I am going to go with just because having a teleporter that can teleport you anywhere and also has remote control sounds pretty OP. Um,
You don't say.
so one of the things that I'm going to be putting a restriction on this is that you can teleport anywhere you want with this thing. However, you cannot activate it remotely, and it cannot remotely bring stuff back. So at your mother's house, you'd be able to find a similar teleporter in order to get you guys back and forth. But at this point, one of the reasons why you guys probably haven't physically left Technogate is because you can't get back. So when Robert decided that, like you can get back, you have
Yeah.
just snuck out without the teleporter, but it's a difficult task. You're not bringing in a warehouse full of shit.
Yeah, so you need a location that has pattern enhancers in order to teleport back.
So what I have to do is I have
And
to load all my shit and take it to your mom's house.
yeah, because my mom's house has I don't know, part of the garage has pattern enhancers.
Well, you would need an actual teleporter, which your mother's house would have the same thing. I'm just giving you
Oh, okay.
some simpleness here because your mother would have built something like this and probably already used stuff like this sometimes in order to get in and out of work. But those are more experiments than stuff you running all the time because it costs a lot of power.
Yeah, I think I was just locked into a certain paradigm because I just watched an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation that involved pattern enhancers and Chief O'Brien. So
Yes, you could do some similar stuff like that. That's just using correspondence. I mean, basically, you guys are getting a big boon thing. I mean, you guys are getting a lot of really powerful shit for you right now to fuck around with to a certain degree. It's just now you can think outside of the box where it's like I'm gonna put down some pattern enhancers and then remotely access the thing and then use my correspondence of 4 or 5 to blah blah blah. Um, in any case,
oh,
um,
essentially, a transporter room just gives you like a plus something to your correspondence level.
I would say that it gives you
Makes
like an
more
extremely
better.
powerful foci for you to use for your correspondence. Like, I don't think it would actually bump up your correspondence personally, but it would give it's a wonder that would do very specific thing, which is teleporting, but then also becomes a foci that you can use to do a bunch of other weird shit. I want to
Okay.
phase out of reality so I can go da da da. You could probably get to the Umbra with it, shit like that. Anyways,
Is there a big power draw for doing a transporter thing?
not unless you do it a lot. Like for the number of people you are and how much you'd be using it, no. But if you had like a staff of 100 people that were using it every single day, that might start eating into your power supply.
That's why you have transporter rations.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, uh,
And then
yeah,
Malakai, was there anything specific that you were looking to do?
guns.
Yeah, I'm just not very good at it. Um,
Uh, do you do you have specifics on? Do you just want the materials to make your own guns, or do you want to just buy guns?
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, that's
Oh,
something that will be. I still have my normal kit, I assume.
yeah. I'm the one that
Absolutely.
said guns.
I'm gonna need ammo at some
Good.
point. Well, I'll need ammo if I start using ammo at some point. Um,
Oh,
but
I grew up in the construct. There's all sorts of old ass guns in the basement.
yeah,
Probably. They might have been cleared out. Ooh,
We should probably
that's gonna be a problem.
investigate the whole layout and do inventory and see what we've got left. I'm gonna go straight over to the progenitor area and see what I have material wise.
Actually, yeah, I kind of want to start with that too.
You guys just want to go
I wanna-
through a full inventory because I can quickly give that to you, and I would say that you guys already started it in the last 3 days, and there is one of the things is your database is slightly corrupted. You're not sure exactly why, but it seems like something happened during the time that you were gone that caused like a massive effect on possibly the digital web because you're seeing like massive like data corruption issues in a lot of shit. So you in order to get access to some stuff, it kind of imagine it being a little bit like Atlantis when they, you guys got there, the whole shit is all shut down. You guys are having to like power shit back on, but there's basic issues. You got a big database full of stuff, but some stuff is restricted or deleted or corrupted at this point, and you guys are kind of figuring out how to get everything back up and running. So the last 3 days, you guys have focusing on getting rid of a lot of the corruption and shit like that. And now you guys can spend like it'd take I'm gonna say a week for you guys to get a full inventory and flush out everything inside of the um, Technogate itself.
so I would like to do some basic information gathering.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start with that. That's a simple request. What kind of basic information are you gathering, and how are you gathering it?
This is what I meant by I'm not good at it. Are there terminals? Like we do have some terminals that work.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys have
Do
gotten
they?
50% of the base back up and running in power, and the
Okay.
terminals are
Do they
working.
do they connect to the mundane internet?
Yes, absolutely.
Obviously, they don't have any of their old Technogate connections, but
Right, there isn't any government connection anymore, and it's all just a localized database with access to the digital web to a certain degree, as well as definitely the public internet.
okay. This might not actually apply to the public internet, just because I realized.
I mean, from public, you can usually get back onto the private nets depending on how much of a hacker you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Or really, the digital web will get you anywhere.
Is there any information as to why Technogate was decommissioned?
That part of the information is basically corrupted, and there isn't much there's kind of a statement in there that funding ran out, stuff like that, that you're kind of finding, but you're not finding any. It's very mundane reasons, it seems, rather than a supernatural like attack or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Also, the main staff, the head senior staff, all went missing, except for even Senator Johnson went missing. But before Senator Johnson went missing, all of the other senior staff went missing.
Okay. That is not great. Not great.
How much materials do I still have left in the lab? Do I still have my animals? Like is did the cooling system turn off? Do I have to start from scratch?
I'll say that you don't need to start from scratch, but yeah, you definitely Anything that can't survive a year without, actual interaction, with, you could have, you could say you
My
maybe
animals are dead.
your animals are, unless you can come up with an idea of like, if you could put them in stasis somehow, if you've got the, maybe life and time, you could.
I mean, I'm heartless, but I'm not sure if everyone in my department would have had my same similar thinking. But if it were me, uh, the cages that the animals were in would be programmed that if they weren't interacted with within like 48 hours, they would be put into stasis of some sort.
Perfect. Yeah. So then, yes, you have animals. They got either we'll say stasis. We'll just hand wave it. It's an easy thing for us to do with technocracy type level stuff, and I'm not killing your animals. So yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
that's my job.
So all right, you guys are yeah, you would have a majority of your stuff kind of where you left it. You'd kind of have the weaponry for an inventory, Malakai, of like what you kind of have here is you've got like your armor, the base armor kind of stuff that you have, some base weapons. There isn't any bazookas or anything like that. There are no spaceships or anything like that at this point in time. But anything that's of mundane level, you definitely have access to, and you have access to like a spacesuit. I'll say that you guys still have access to like jetpacks and maybe, some other, uh, little nuggets of stuff that you'll have that you can have access to, after digging into it more. But you do have boxes of shit but most of it's just mundane and most of it's not labeled, so it'll take like a week to get a full inventory.
Okay, well that's what Tycho's going to work on, because I mean it's a big thing that I did before was go down to the lower levels into the storage rooms because I knew where shit was because I grew up here. Is a lot of that old shit still here?
uh some of it, but it's all boxed away and harder to really directly just find. It's not like you have like a, just punch it up on the data pad and it'll tell you exactly where it is. You got to like go dig through, thousands of mundane shit before you find anything that's of Technogate level. And Malachi, you said that you were accessing the net still. What were you specifically looking for on the net, or is there more of a general sweep that you're trying to hit?
I want to start with this is going to be I want to start with news, the news cycle as of a year ago, and look for things that stand out to me, and start moving. We lost a year, correct? That's at least our best guess at this point.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and then I want to go there, and then I want to start, kind of like Men in Black, where they're talking about looking at tabloids and like, oh no, this is where the real news is at. You just got to know what you're looking for. I want to
Right.
attempt to do that.
Okay. Yeah, give me a computers plus intelligence difficulty of 8.
Okay, that is
Can
definitely
I
a role that I use a lot.
can I help with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna split my time with doing this and searching the old stuff.
It's going to say occult, but that is not correct.
Ooh,
Difficulty 8.
I will attempt to do that as well then.
I'm fine with that.
Ooh, that's a nice
Ooh.
way to start the season.
Yeah.
Shit, I gotta remember how to do this now.
I got 2.
So all you just don't want to have happen is Phaedra to botch. You guys should be fine.
Okay, so it's
Intelligence.
research and
You could do research in intelligence.
a botch in the year 2000 isn't that bad. Facebook doesn't exist. Twitter doesn't exist. Google barely exists. This is like HTML1.
Back
Oh,
in
wait.
the
We're
day.
technocrats.
Yeah.
We're technocrats.
There's
Ugh.
there's the Facebook. It's for technocrats only, and then they gave it to Zuckerberg. And Phaedra gets 1 success. So you guys had 3, 2, and 1 for your successes. Nice little run there.
Tycho was just
rusty.
on Usenet the entire time, like going through archives on Usenet. Like, oh god, this is disgusting.
So one of the things that you do notice of like a comparison of the world that you're in now to the world that you were in before is that you found a lot more legitimate, um, you know, activity that would seem to be supernatural. A lot of what you're getting now does seem to be stuff that, if it is going on, then, like the world really has changed. But from the stuff that you guys have investigated into and the the spirit world and the mundane world don't seem to be, or the other dimensions don't seem to be, interacting as much as they used to. Um, there seems to be kind of a lull and um, a quiet, it feels like, around the world when it comes to supernatural activity. Um, you don't find anything specific. Um, or actually, I will say with the successes that you guys get, that you guys do find one specific thing that you guys could kind of research into, um, is that there was a nearby like spontaneous storm that kind of brewed up around a event that happened where there was this great big crash out on the highway, and there was only one survivor of that horrendous like pile up that happened. There's like 30 people that died on the belt line, and that is like a very prominent supernatural event that seems like maybe something supernatural happened there. You have information on the person who survived, and last whereabouts was that he was in a hospital. But that was, we'll say, a
How
week
long
ago.
Oh,
Name is Kyle White.
Kyle.
Okay.
Oh, it's probably not the same if he's in the hospital.
Yeah. Is he still currently in the hospital or was he discharged?
He
Their way.
was, as far as you know, he was admitted into the hospital, and you do see a recent discharge on him.
Okay.
I want to make a discharge joke.
Ooh, gotta be careful. It's gotta be funny.
You got. All right.
That was the joke. That was the entire thing.
Okay. So that was real recent. But other than that, the past year, it seems like everything has been more split apart than normal, more isolated, or at least the sleeper world has been isolated.
Yeah, well, it just seems like there's whatever happened didn't happen on Earth as much as maybe it happened out in the Umbral world.
Yeah.
Or at least you're not finding evidence of any kind of craziness that was going on. But supposedly there was a war. You've got some corrupted data on this concept that basically the Technocracy and the mages went to war with each other and possibly wiped each other out and fucked up the Umbra, so that people, the only reports that you have, there you like find some very minor stuff on like the concept that, after the war and after some kind of crazy storm like swept through the supernatural world, like the Umbra was all different, changed and altered. But it was a very short storm, and it seemed to wipe out most of, or make most of the supernaturals that you know of go missing.
Does that storm, the way that, if I have a description, does that match similarly to the one, I think it was the first episode that I was on, where we were in a different umbral realm? No, it was, we had to go, shit, what was it exactly? It was a storm that was permeating through the various, and it was coming up on Earth as just like a regular like hurricane or something. I don't remember, but it was also happening worse in the Umbra, and then even worse in the Deep Umbra. I can't remember the specifics of it. Is it reminiscent to that, or am I drawing connections that don't exist?
I'm trying to remember when you guys went to the future. You guys might have.
It was after the future thing because I wasn't around for that. Or maybe that was the time and I came in right at the end of it. Like I came in for the last session of it.
Thing?
I just remember, and we fought the one mage that had all of like
The
cards that were
swords?
floating around her, and she was using those cards to basically precast spells, and she was attacking us with them.
Oh, that would be different
Okay.
than what this seems to be. Some kind of like weird ass storm that like swept through all of like the barrier between Earth and the other realms became extremely dangerous. So it's possible like there's like tales of trying to or get into the other dimensions was like possibly lethal just to like cross through the threshold. That they shut down Technogate. What I guess one of the other things you'd find on that is that Technogate got shut down because travel to the Umbra became very dangerous. Now in the future, you guys kind of learned that um, the storm lasted for a long time, longer than just a year. For like years and years and years, for I think it was like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years or something like that. That in the future the storm lasted for, and then like at the end of it, the only thing that was left was the Nameless. Um, in this version, the storm was extremely short, and it's possible that the Nameless, doesn't exist anymore, or if he is, he's extremely weakened compared to what what you saw in the future.
Yeah, in that timeline.
So do we know if the storm is currently still happening?
The storm is over. It seemed to only last for like a month.
Cool.
Okay. Phaedra, did you have something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
I wasn't sure if
I've got a thing that I want to look into. I have a werewolf lore of 4. Can I search in the digital web? Because I'm the werewolves that I ran around with were glasswalkers, so I might know a few of the places to look to kind of glean some information there.
are you gonna
So
narc
one of the
some,
things that happens when you kind of
boards?
jack into the digital web is that you would realize that the digital web is kind of become very integrated into the regular web, and that it's hard to tell the difference between you can't just go around and assume that people are mages anymore, just because they're in the digital web, which opens up a whole different kind of can of worms. So you find that being able to interact with the old contacts you had and stuff like that seems to be completely different. That everything has kind of changed in the last year on how the digital web interacts with the world itself. And you're not just able to look up your old contacts. And some of like you can, they have old handles, old IRC probably channels and stuff like that they used to hit up each other on. All of those have been down. You get 404 errors when you go there.
Yeah, so all that stuff is down.
I was gonna ask you to do that.
I don't understand the new protocols. There's new encryption. What the hell is all this? Oh man, I might actually have to go to the cairn. Well, it's been another year. Maybe they won't attack me on sight.
And if they do,
Uh,
how do you
it-
not get cut to ribbons? Fluffy
attack
ribbons.
on sight is an exaggeration. It's
They give you a warning first before they try to rip your throat
yeah.
out.
When they see me, or when they have seen me in the past, they just tell me to go away. Maybe this time they won't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
But
So we
I
got the
think we
cairn
should
to
do
visit.
the
We can do
yeah.
some
We should,
information gathering. We also have
Okay.
this
should
guy named Kyle. He might be useful to talk to. Not like as a friend
I
or anything.
I would I would rather go observe him for a while, see if he's part of uh what faction he's from, possibly, if he
Yeah.
is part of something at all. Uh because if he's just some vampire who fucked up on something, I don't want to know him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And
oh,
then
So
we
have
still
you
have
tried to
I
look
can
up anything else on him? Can we do like a
Yeah,
research Kyle White?
yeah, go ahead. Do a computers or research difficulty of 7.
So computers intelligence.
at 3. I did research and
Wow.
intelligence.
I did computer. Yeah, I just got 1.
We reversed.
So you guys have enough successes, I would say, to kind of get the basics of him. He's like 26 years old, Caucasian male with, a degree in astrophysics.
Ooh, that's fun.
And, he got out of college recently. He's jobless. He's been living off of, mama's cash, basically, who's also a professor at like Stanford or something like that. And basically at this everything kind of comes back just kind of normal. Your normal kid that gets out of college is still looking for the perfect job, doesn't need to get one right away, has like an apartment downtown,
No
on State
indications
Street.
of connections to supernaturals.
No indications of connections to supernaturals as far as you're aware, or that you're able to find with your successes.
It's just suspicious that he survived.
There's
That
2 major things.
He could have had his awakening, and that could have been the explosion.
Yeah,
okay.
the 2 major things that are really odd is, one, he survived when 30 other people didn't, and he was in like the middle of it all, so he should have, likely been one of the people to die. And then the second thing is that there was a spontaneous storm that like appeared over the belt line and like consumed the city for like a short amount of time. Um, with just raging, lightning and heavy rainfall and massive amount of like high wind, maybe like a tornado that kind of like hit down, and then like it all disappeared after like 15 minutes. And it was
Okay.
all within like a 6-block radius.
All right.
We
Well,
should
do you
probably
feel? Go
go
ahead.
see this guy first.
Well, I was thinking the first thing we should do. I'm glad that you said that because it was between him and the cairn. The first thing we should do is solidify travel from here and your mom's house, so we have a way to get in and out easily.
Yep. I want to secure not only this area, maybe put up a field towards the entrance to make people think that there is no entrance there.
Oh, I have
Like,
an idea about that. Matter magic, and I will literally make it so there's not an entrance anymore. It'll take me a little while to do.
okay, you work on that, and then I'll go with Tycho to his mom's house, and put up a correspondence sphere like we had at Denny's, uh, and make his mom's place extra secure.
I am all for that, with the only difference being I'm going to go with you the first time in case it's not safe, and then I'll just be the first one to teleport back, and then I'll start working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't
You guys met my mom, right?
yeah.
Yeah. You don't
We
think she
had
doesn't have?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. It was disturbing what she did with that turkey. I'm sure you want to know all about it. No. There's a room just off the side of the garage with some of the things that make it so, certain people don't notice the house.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is that it's been an entire year since all of that shit was still functional. And if she used software that was from here or was supported by the government, it might not be working anymore. Does not
say
hurt
this.
to fix.
Actually,
My
it'd be
mother?
really easy to tell if we can teleport to like the end of the street and then just look at your house. If the wards are all still up, in terms of a power draw, I guess, then it's
Well, no,
gonna be fine.
we should be able to remotely interface with the portal system at my mother's house. But I would just like to remind everybody, my mother was in charge of the research and execution program at the Construct. She basically built and executed the gadgets that we all used. And she was part of a cabal of people who were fighting against the negative aspects of the organization we're all part of.
Right.
There's going to be so much stuff that she was working on outside of the Technocracy in that house.
True,
She
but
had hella security, and I'm one of the only people in this world that probably is on the white list for that
Yeah.
fucking teleporter.
cool.
They did have a year to dismantle and try. I mean, depending on the nature of her disappearance, they very well could have spent a lot of time taking that stuff down so they can the Technoc.
Uh,
I don't even know who they are.
Also,
Not important.
Based
Since
on what I've
she's-
seen so far,
oh, if
I
she's
think
gone,
they've
is
had
it
other
still
things
going?
to deal with.
If she's gone, does it still work?
Most of it, probably. Yeah, my mom built things to last.
Okay.
And I point at the gun belt that I'm still wearing. My dad's gun belt that's now mine.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm fully aware of the big shooter you got. Yes.
Pew pew.
All right. Do we wanna distrust it and just jump right into the garage, or because that would be the safest way, because then no one will see us.
Yep.
Or do we want to teleport to a nearby McDonald's and then walk up and kind of get?
Let's finish. Malakai, let's finish the shit that we're supposed to do here first. Go destroy the door and set up the stuff that you want. If you need some assistance, I'll help. And then we'll go.
That sounds good. I'm gonna start. I guess I'll be heading to the shop to start collecting some gear, some 3D print.
In the
Yeah.
week that we've been here, has anybody tried to access the construct?
No, nobody's tried accessing it.
Seems like a bad idea, to be honest.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Well, it's real easy to set up. Has there been any requests made of this? If so, from where? Type deals. And,
No requests or anything. Like, yeah, this base is considered completely abandoned and kind of just like off the books at this point for the rest of the world.
Interesting. Who knows? This might have even been part of your mother's doing.
Well, what is the normal entrance? It's just like a fenced-in gate.
Like the
Normally
elevators
it's
and things?
like a plane bay. So there's like a a warehouse that the planes go into for maintenance and stuff like that. And so it's just one of those amongst all the other ones that exist on the base.
Oh. Okay, so there's like
And
there's
then there's
people
a
walking
elevator.
around
Yeah,
like
above you
around
guys.
the building.
Yep. And the building is really
Nobody's
just a cover. There might even be people that use. I would say at this point, nobody's using even the building that you guys are in, but you guys are just on the airstrip.
Yeah, it'll be easy enough to make whatever, if for an Archer reference, if there's some vending machines in front of the elevator, we can just make those actual vending machines, and then we should be pretty good, unless if somebody has inside knowledge of the
Well,
base.
at the very least, what we should do is try to make it so that if there is somebody who tries to access the base through the normal channels that we used to come and go from, that they are stopped. I think that's the bottom line.
So should we make like a mental force field where they just don't want to come down here, or
Mm,
That would be pretty cool.
like
I mean, all of the
I
above
could
at this
use
point.
yeah, I can use some correspondence and some mind.
Do I
Like
have mine?
set out like a silent like pulse.
Uh,
Touch
I want
attribute.
to say there was a device that somebody used back in the 70s or 80s based on like a radio show that somebody heard. It's called the I don't want to be here field. And you can just kind of point it in a direction. It makes people want to
I
go
believe that
away.
is done via microwaves, a focused microwave emitter.
Well,
Makes
the
it
problem is
super
that it's the normal way of accessing the place is through an elevator in that building. Like it's just a freight elevator that you guys got into inside of the warehouse. That was just off on the corner, and then it goes down. So
Is
you could
the
put up the
building
field in the building, which nobody is using right now, so that makes sense. You could just so anybody who kind of walks into the maintenance hangar for that you guys are residing in or under, they don't have to worry. You could also just stop the connection you don't have to use the elevator to go up anymore. Just because you're underneath the airbase doesn't mean you have to be connected to it.
Yeah, that's my thinking. Is the building block wall, or is it poured concrete, or is it steel and drywall structure? I can't imagine it's drywall.
I mean, it's probably more of a I don't know, whatever a hangar bay would be for
Yeah, it's all
for
steel.
airplanes. So it's like all steel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, probably steel and concrete because it is a secured building. They wouldn't have just left it be.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And
And
so-
reinforced, with special steel for just this building that looks ordinary.
yeah, it looks ordinary until you get it under what is that thing? Radon. Whatever. It's you shoot it with certain wavelengths of light, and then you can tell what its properties are. In
What
any
if we
case,
just made it so the elevator went really, really slow?
I was
and told
just
us what it was
going to
gonna do?
take the elevator door and turn it into the wall, so that it was just the wall the whole way.
Oh, there you go. Where's the
And
elevator? Oh, it was right here.
it was right here,
Well,
but
it's not here.
it's not here right now. But I kind of want to make sure we have a opposing teleporter before we do that, just in case we do need to sneak back in one last time.
Well, can you? Yeah. So we're gonna try out the teleporter then.
Yep, I guess it's just I would vote to be up the street and walk down to your mom's house. If you guys want to go directly into the garage,
No.
I'm not going to fight that hard.
I want to go directly into the garage just in case.
Split the difference. Stargate rules. You send the robot first. Teleport a drone that hooks to the cellular networks and has cameras and a few other sensors. I'm sure there's an old drone that I can find in the basement.
All right, that sounds like a plan I can get behind. I'm going to assist in finding equipment to make it happen.
All right. So, yeah, you guys are able to. I'm not going to make you guys roll for a lot of this. You guys are able to accomplish your tasks pretty simply. You guys are able to get the teleporter up and running. And when you access your mother's house, um, what you do realize is that there is a bunch of stuff that is missing, but there's a bunch of stuff that's there still as well. Like a bunch of the cars, a lot of the mundane stuff is still there, but almost all of the super gadgets are gone.
Are we just jumping all the way ahead to when we teleport there, or is this just from the drone?
Oh, yeah, I suppose if you're going to be using so you're going to use the drone to scout your mom's house?
Yeah.
I do apologize. I didn't realize that. So are you going to teleport into the house or outside the house?
Into the house.
I would vote
In the
garage.
garage.
Yeah, in the garage.
Because we specifically want to make sure that the teleporter that I know is in my mom's house, that you told me is there, is still functional. Because
Right.
that's how we get back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I suppose that's a good point. Good point. So yeah, you're able to teleport the drone in, and let's have you make either a investigation and intelligence or computer and intelligence, but actually I'm going to say that it's even if you have a higher points in investigation, you're limited by how much computer you have for manipulating this drone. So even if you're really good at investigating, if you don't know how to use the drone, you can't use all of your investigation. So it'll probably be your computer, unless your investigation is lower than computer than its investigation.
Do you use anything but computer?
Regardless, what is the difficulty?
Difficulty will be 6.
All right, I have 4 dots in computer. Ooh. No, 4 dots for the die roll. Oh.
I'm gonna try to help just to negate that negative.
Actually, I do apologize. It'll be computer and perception, unless investigation is lower than computer. Then it is investigation plus perception.
So re-roll.
Okay. It is an identical dice pool because I have a 1 investigation, but a 3 in perception. At a 6. I was getting those 8s earlier, and jeez.
It's the exact same dice pool for me, so I'm leaving it where it is. So,
Okay.
so I send the drone, and I'm like, it's not working.
Move. I just pushed you out of the way.
Ah!
Oh, it was Tycho who fucked up horribly, not me.
Yeah.
I feel so much better. I thought that was my die roll. Okay. All right.
So what I'm going to say is that he does run the drone into the wall, and there's a little bit of damage on it, but not enough to stop it from doing what it needs to do. But there might be a weird quirk that might happen every once in a while because the fucking helicopter, wing 1 got damaged a little bit. Now it's wow. Every once in a while.
And then we let Phaedra take over.
I was imagining a little it's on wheels, but it's only a 1 foot by 1 foot little square, but maybe 3 feet high, and it's got cameras and shit. It's because it's from the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh.
His negative one was he teleported.
They didn't have flying drones.
Then what I'm going to
Okay.
say actually then is that there's
I mean, I still ran it into the wall.
yeah, you like ran it into the wall, it like went up and fell over, and you had to like spend the like last like 2 hours like fucking with it. Phaedra, you know, like well, not 2 hours, but you know, you're fucking with it trying to get back up, and Phaedra like pushes you out of the way. It's like, God damn it, and like pops it back up and like gets it to, you know, go back into the house.
Teleported it, and it was just facing a wall, and it was dark, so you thought it wasn't working.
Yep. I got very
How is it going to
frustrated.
get upstairs?
It don't. What is this? The 2010s
It.
with your fancy drones? No, I put it in the teleporter room. We're just making sure the teleporter works.
Oh, you're putting it in the. I thought you put it in the garage. I do apologize. I heard somebody say.
I thought the garage was right next to the teleporter room.
Yeah, I would say, you know, it'd be pretty close. Yeah, I would say there'd be stairs though, because it's always underground. Everything's underground. It's way cooler to put stuff underground.
I mean, if there's 30 cars in there, I feel like, you know, there's plenty of floor space. Put the teleporter in the corner of the garage because it's transportation. It's like adjacent ideologically.
Also,
That's
are all the,
smart.
well, this is something for, I guess, the near future, but are all the cars still there? You would be the one
Yes,
who would
the
know.
mundane cars are there. The supernatural ones seem to be gone. And then you are able to find the teleporter, but it is currently damaged, or looks like to be slightly, you know, some parts are kind of missing from it. And I'll say that it was in the garage, so.
Okay. The things that need to be fixed by the teleporter, is it things that we have material-wise here? Can we just grab a bunch of shit and then when we teleport, fix that end?
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
I can find that stuff in the lab, my mom's lab, at the Technogate.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
there a repair skill?
And there is, you know, some stuff too that are still there. It seems to be like any of the functioning shit seem to is been taken out. But the most of the mundane shit is still there.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna grab a battery from the power plant. You know, like a 5-task battery, something like that, just so that we have an external power supply.
Yep.
Take over there.
Good idea. A little generator.
And I'll use my Prime of 4 to do it. Woot.
So I'm gonna say, on the one hand, I definitely want all of us to go, but on the other hand, if I can't fix the teleporter, we're gonna need somebody to save me. So,
what is the role to fix the teleporter, out of curiosity?
It'll be an Arret roll. You need to have at least I want to say 3 in correspondence in order to fix the.
So I have to go, is what you're saying to me.
I don't.
Yeah, I think you do. I was hoping it was just going to be forces, matter, and prime, and I'm all like, yeah, I'm going, but I forgot that correspondence is a thing.
One of us should probably stay just in case.
Can I if I stayed?
Oh, also one thing I just want to really. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
If I stayed, could I bring them back via the teleporter?
No. Well, okay. I'm going to say this: you get into vulgar territory with a lot of the shit that you guys are doing. So if you teleport to anywhere other than somewhere that the matches like super science paradigm, basically a sanctum or another construct or stuff like that, teleporting is going to be totally vulgar. Like, so teleporting to the middle of the streets is a completely vulgar action.
That would make sense to me.
Even teleporting people out of something instead of having like a pad to pad transport. Like site to site transport is like vulgar magic basically. Even when it's performable. Because it for me it's kind of one of those things of it explains why Star Trek doesn't do site to site transport very often, but they do it in emergency situations because it's worth it. But like normally you need a pad to like transport from one spot to another. Although they do teleport, I guess, down to planets all the time. That
Yeah,
takes
that's the
that
only way
away.
they're gonna get down there.
But
All right, well,
but the paradigm matches then because it's another planet. I don't know. Anyways,
I think it's all still worth doing. We just also may want to dig a tunnel and just like, I don't know, go a ways and then pop up in somebody's house.
But anyway, so I know what parts we need, but I don't have the knowledge, i.e., correspondence.
So me and
to
Tycho
fix.
should go. Yeah. So
Actually,
No,
it's
she has to.
yeah,
well,
me
no,
and
it's
Tycho will go,
no,
and then we'll
it's
also
you
stop.
and it's you and Malakai
Oh yeah, that would.
because
I feel better about that.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I'll do
because it's a
power
security issue,
if
Okay.
and he
necessary.
knows the power systems.
Yep, and then you can handle the correspondence, and if we need to, Tycho can bring us back and take all that paradox.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You,
So
what's paradox?
It's a game company. I think they're still existing right now.
I think they might have just started
They
up.
are.
Yeah.
They
Like
are
2000.
now, but I'm not sure of the game.
All right.
okay. So
Real quick, I think we are getting to a point where we should take a break here real quick. Amber, are you still able to go to 10 o'clock? Okay. So we will take a break here real quick. Let's say 10 minutes. So we'll be back at 8:40. Sorry, 8:50 our time. And we'll take a short little break here to let you guys kind of decide on how you guys want to go about this challenge here independently, and then we'll come back and solidify the whole plan for what you guys are doing.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, and we are back. So, our heroes were deciding whether who is going to be going on the trip to fix the teleporter at Tycho's mother's house. And so I believe that was ending with Phaedra and Malakai would be going. Is that correct?
yes.
Yeah, and I'm going to be monitoring through the drone.
All right. So, you guys are able to teleport in without a problem. You guys got the supplies that you need and everything. So, the base difficulty for this will be 6. You can lower the difficulty down to 3 by using Quiescence or Hypertech at a difficulty of 6, Hypertech Intelligence, or you can use Technology and get a 8 for your difficulty, and it'll be Intelligence and Technology to lower the difficulty.
What was the base difficulty for
6.
Arate?
So,
6.
yep, it'll be a base difficulty of 6 Arate. If you just want to do a straight Arate roll, you can do that. If
I
you
think I'm
do
gonna
botch
just.
the skill roll, I'm an asshole GM, so I am going to give you a as if you were botching the magic.
Okay. Then I'll try lowering the difficulty. I do not have hypertech. I only have technology. So that is a difficulty of 7.
Difficulty 8.
this is okay.
Fingers
Just
crossed.
teaching you guys hypertech.
I've got so many other things that I need to be doing. Okay, let me. One. I got one success.
Wow. All right. Well, you got your one success. With one success,
It doesn't lower the difficulty. It's still 6.
so yes, you were able to at least do the technical parts in order to get the spell to go. If you had failed, then you would have failed the spell, but you wouldn't have botched it, or I apologize, the repair check that you're doing right now. And Malakai, are you assisting in any way, shape, or form, or are you just playing cover right now?
I will assist with pretty much getting the machine working. Basically, I have everything but correspondence. And
Do you want to help me with lowering this difficulty?
Do you have
Possibly?
a 1 in correspondence?
I do not.
Without
I have,
without a 1 in correspondence, you can't really help. But you can be an assistant to a certain degree. Like, you can do the stuff that doesn't require an Arte roll. So I would say difficulty is going to be 5 actually. So this might change, but it doesn't change anything.
I'm gonna cut in. Do not help me. I don't think I need help. I got 4 on my Arte.
No, I just straight up can't. But I'm there and looking around. Oh, one thing I did want to do was a prime scan of the building, looking for enhanced patterns.
Yeah, you can do like a scan here. So Phaedra, I'm going to say that you were able to repair the teleporter and get it online to make the connection. And we will have Malakai do a difficulty of 3 Arte roll.
Oh shit.
All right, 5 successes. So you do a scan, and what you can kind of tell is that there's a bunch of mundane shit here, but it seems like the only thing that just came up on your sensors really were was the teleporter that just came online. So it seems like everything here is either in a dismantled state, kind of like this one was, or it's been taken out of this place. So there's nothing with any high energy patterns, and it seems like the defenses are basically down here. But it also, seems like the place hasn't been touched for a long time either.
Can I put up a similar correspondence field that was up at Denny's in my old place here at the house?
Yeah, that'll take some time. But yeah, you can get something similar to that going.
Would that be another Arte roll?
We'll skip that for right now. It's not something that you can get going immediately.
Okay.
It's gonna take some time to get it. I guess you'll have to explain to me. Actually, how would you be doing that? I guess is the first question, because that'll answer a lot of time questions. You're gonna have to go around and scribe shit all over the walls like a crazy mage would, or are you getting like a field generator that like puts out an EMP field? Are you making everybody just wear fucking tinfoil hats?
Phaedra?
Yeah.
I am familiar with the defense mechanisms that my mother built into her own house. I might be able to get some of them back up and running. I think I just want to try and make sure the teleporter is working. Can you guys send the drone back here?
Sure. I do that.
Not a problem. So the drone appears back.
Energize.
No not gonna force any rolls on this unless there's like a critical situation. But yeah, the teleporter is pretty safe. Using teleport to teleport or teleporter to teleporter, non-vulgar or any kind of issues like that.
Okay. In that case, I will, unless anybody has any objections, I'm going to also teleport to the house. Looks like I'm going to do it.
Do
Yep,
it.
I have no objections.
When you arrive, I will give you the rundown of the prime information that I pulled from the area. Kind of let you know what's still on or what is on, and then you can go from there.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd like to look around. I know my mom has some countermeasures set up for the house. I'd like to figure out how to get those working again.
Okay. Give me a. I'm just gonna have you do a straight up Arate roll, difficulty of 4.
Alright.
While he's rolling that, are there any sources of prime
Got
in the nearby? Oh, nice! You dominated that. Source.
Have it.
You can
Oh
keep.
shit!
The house itself does seem to have a node that's kind of what the house has kind of been built on, and is off the power grid, and it's on its own power grid, and there is a little like I guess there would be like a little engine or some kind of machine that's like operating deep underground. And Tycho knows all about this. It's like, there's like a little node generator that basically needs to be turned on and it's off at this point. So he just goes and turns that back on, and a lot of the defenses kind of power back up, and the house becomes kind of fully operational once again, once the, um, I guess, cold fusion engine that she has down in the basement. Like there's like a sub layer to the sub layer of the basement that's, completely encased in lead, so that if there is some kind of nuclear fusion, it'll contain it to a certain degree.
My mother contained multitudes.
There's
So was
also
her pride and
other,
joy, after all.
I guess it would be not necessarily lead. It would be something similar to lead that's even more likely to withstand a nuclear blast.
It's magic lead.
Boom, boom, boom. M lead. It's M theory lead.
It's lead that's been to space. Or something. I don't know.
Willie,
But yeah,
William
I just
Shatner
go
went
down
to
to the
space.
I go down to the sub basement and flick the switch, and it's like, okay, countermeasures on.
I'm gonna go rent a U-Haul, grab all my shit, move it in.
There are 30 cars in this garage. Is one of them a box truck?
Yes. One is like a mover truck kind of thing. It allows you to like haul lots of stuff.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
bigger on the inside.
Damn it! I was gonna say that.
I got it first.
All right.
All right. When they leave with the truck, I'm going to actually do a quick rundown. Everybody's trained on how to use a teleporter so they can get themselves back.
Yep. So you guys
Okay.
are easy transport back and forth between the house and the techno base.
All right. So when they leave with the truck, I'm going to send myself back and start working on the wall.
Wait, let's discuss this because
Oh.
I want to investigate the house.
Malakai, can you drive me to my warehouse?
Oh shit, you don't have drive?
Yeah. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I've never owned a car.
You can do like a quick scan using, all the security systems that she has. What you can tell is that basically all of the, besides like the, surveillance system and like the defense mechanisms that she has, which is like, I wouldn't say like she's got anything that's above mundane for a lot of her security system, besides it being, high in security like footage and stuff. She doesn't have like lasers that'll pop out and shoot people or anything like that. But a lot of it's about like setting off alarms and shit like that. And there is a correspondence, um, kind of protection over the house. Um, and a lot of the building is made out of like impenetrable fucking steel, so it's basically it can go into like a lockdown system, but it doesn't have like lasers shooting people down or guns shooting people down on the outside. And you're able to get like a scan of the house through the security system that'll basically tell you that all the good shit's gone or dismantled into a way. So you might be able to quote unquote find some goodies where, just making shit up like I need this, can I go to the house and try and find it? Type stuff, but we won't give you a direct list of all that stuff. But yeah, at this point in time, you guys have access to some stuff that needs to be repaired. But like 99% of the goodies are all gone. You do have a log that it was your mother who checked all of this out in July of 1999, not too long after you disappeared.
So she was the one that removed all of the main stuff?
Correct. And she took it to
Oh.
Inventum.
Oh, Inventium. Mm. Interesting. Well, that's okay. Well, my investigation's done. You guys go ahead.
All right. So Malakai and Phaedra, you guys are able to go get the goodies. There isn't really any problems that you guys run into along the way, or back again. You got
Can I do some investigation as to who rented this storage unit? Who paid for this?
yeah. Give me a investigation or computer. If you want to do research, I'm going to have to say you're going to spend nights doing this. If you want a quick check, it's going to be computers or investigation.
I'll do intelligence investigation.
Yep.
If I fail this, I'll try it again later, but I'll do the legwork. Difficulty 6.
Yep.
3 successes.
Tycho's mother.
She loves playing this game where she knows way more than we do.
She's the
Okay.
best.
Oh, and that does remind me, there is an embedded coded message that has like layers upon layers of security that you need to break through in order to get the coded message from your mother that seems to be embedded into the system. And like the normal basic passphrases that you would use aren't working. It seems to be something that you it reminds you of a game that she played with you back when you were a child, like this little computer game that she had you play. And so it's basically like a video game that you have to beat. It's very similar to like Final Fantasy. It's like a it's like a JRPG basically that you have to play. That's old school, DOS based almost, ASCII based.
You ever read Ender's Game?
Yes.
Yes.
He plays a game in that.
He does play a game in that.
All right, so I just got to get past the giant's corpse, which I was never able to do when I was a child.
Right.
Well, I'm going to play the game. Play the game.
Dude, you do that like an hour before you're going to bed, not like right in the middle of the workday. Come on.
There's a secret message from my mother. You guys are off getting stuff. I've discovered that there is a secret message embedded in the game. I'm going to play the game while you guys
Honestly,
go.
I forgot that we had left. It's a perfect time to jump onto a Switch or something.
All right, so you're gonna play the game. How about are you gonna go? Are you going to interact with the game? There's multiple different ways. You can be like a warrior. You can be a like diplomat. You can be a spy. So you kind of get to pick whatever ability that you want. So if you're like, okay, I'm really good at stealth, so I'm going to be a stealth character inside of the game. And So the way that we'll kind of do this is that you kind of you can make it's also a roguelike, so if you die you have to start from the beginning basically again. And there's multiple different ways to get through scenarios. So what skill are you going to be using in this game?
Wits.
So that's your attribute that you'll be using. What's your ability that you're using?
Oh,
Like computer or stealth?
werewolf lore. No. Technology.
Okay. Do you want to use hypertech?
Yeah, if I can.
Hold on one second.
So Phaedra, how many more boxes is there?
Okay. I'll let Phaedra finish.
How many boxes are in my warehouse?
Yeah, I imagine just being halfway through the day. Just
I mean, I know I don't know if Tycho's mom has like thrown away all of my trash, but the note should be in there. My safe definitely should be in there. I don't think I had that much stuff other than my research papers and all of my conspiracy theory notebooks.
Oh God, paper's the worst to have to move because you put it all together and it gets heavy fast.
Yeah. So we just boxes and boxes of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just a pain in the ass to move, but not anything crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so Tycho, you're playing your game. Give me a wits plus hypertech at a difficulty of 5.
All right, give me a minute. Wits and hypertech is skills. Extra skill 2. Difficulty 5. Oh my gosh. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Give me an Arete roll, difficulty of 3. And you do remember getting to a point inside of this game that you when you always got there, it was one of those, like, this thing was just an impossible monster to defeat. And you get to, so you kind of been playing this game, your character is like a hyper tech kind of character that builds a lot of like devices and shit in order to, fight off monsters and deal with situations. And
I'm a Techno Mage.
you're a techno mage inside of the game. And there was this 3-headed ogre that you had to fight to get past and get into one of the dungeon vaults that held like supposedly a treasure that you had never been able to get access to before. You've beaten this game, and one of the things that you kind of did was you did end up beating the game already, and you got to the end and you didn't get through the passcode. So you started like adventuring around and doing the side quest stuff that you'd never been able to beat before. And you finally get to this 3-headed ogre, and you basically kind of get into like this neo kind of trance that you're like it's all code. I can just manipulate the code, like, and you feel like the game kind of interacts with you in that kind of like, you become the one, and you're like, okay, I just freeze the ogre, I jump into the ogre, I just burst it apart, kind of situation here. And you're just able to like just walk through and get to the other side basically of
real quick.
Yep.
Flashback. Tycho, as a young child, learning how to code, and he's like Mama, I figured out for loops. And she's like, yes, but have you figured out hyper for loops? And there's like, and that's what I just did. I figured out hyper for loops.
There you go. Love it. Beautiful.
Nice
And-
flashback imagery there.
You're able to access.
She's younger, you know. And my dad is there too. Anyway, go ahead.
Except to make it sad.
My dad's there too. I was once a happy
I'm just
boy.
I'm just latching onto television style storytelling where it's like you have the episode where you overcome a thing, you explain it through flashbacks.
Oh yeah.
you
I
know,
like it.
sentimental.
Very anime.
Very anime. All right. So, you are able to access the file that basically is encoded and built just for, or is directed at you, and it's a message from your mother that basically reads, "Son, if you're reading this, then you have finally arrived back from the activities or from the adventure that you had in Altered Earth. And due to the actions of you and your father, we were able to unite the Technocracy and the Traditions against the Nameless. However, it came at a great cost to defeat him. The world is now changed. The Umbra is now changed. And much of what existed before in the supernatural world has been destroyed. If I have not returned home, I may be one of those things that has been destroyed. And I hope that you can rebuild the world in a better vision than what the Nameless was trying to do." And then it just cuts out.
That's my mother. Not very good with specifics about what to actually do.
Yep.
Pretty sure she's just gonna show up in 5 years and be really, really critical about what I've done. But she's given me a direction. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna rebuild this world. In a better way.
Oh, great, you're here. Help us unload.
And then, yeah, garage door opens. I'm just like sobbing. Oh, my mother's dead. No, you guys are back?
I clock it, but I don't say anything, and I'm like, "Yeah, help us with the papers."
Oh, it's a lot of paper. Wow. Oh,
Research.
before we unload, hey guys, I found this message from my mom here, and I show them the message.
Holy shit.
And I cry again.
I awkwardly pat your shoulder.
Is there an insight check in because I really want to insight check Phaedra just to make sure. Rebuild the whole world. That's
Perception, empathy?
Yeah, I'd say that's a good roll.
oh, I always take empathy, but I didn't in this game.
I don't think anybody has empathy in this game, and you guys have rolled it like over 100 times.
Yeah,
I finally
I've
put
zero.
2 dots in empathy, so suck it.
I broke even. So
So yeah, you're like, I see no hidden message or any message in this other than rebuild the world.
yeah, yep.
Wait, so did your mom just confirm that she's dead or is she lost still?
She basically said that if she hasn't returned after what happened, that she's probably dead. But you never know. Sometimes you just get thrown into a polar vortex for 4,000 years, and then you pop back out, and you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, we were technically gone for an entire year.
Yeah, I feel she was saying that basically if she's not around, we should just assume she's dead and act accordingly.
Hey, it sounds like
Malakai.
they won. They beat the nameless, the technocracies and the traditions together. Right? That's what she said, right?
Yes, basically that they had defeated the nameless, but something happened in doing so, which is from like some of the things that you can kind of piece together, because there is some like logs and stuff that is in there. You know that there was a big huge battle with the nameless and he was destroyed, and then the avatar storm happens, and that's when everybody just starts going missing, and there's other crazy shit that's kind of happening during this time period. And then that's when your mother left that message, was just as the avatar storm was beginning.
Okay, now you've called it the avatar storm now. That's over, right?
Yes, the avatar storm has ended, and it only lasted like a month.
Yeah, so that ended a while ago. Okay. That's all I got.
All right, let's get everything loaded into the teleporter room and get it back to Technogate.
Do you? Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
What are you thinking?
Phaedra was gonna say something to Tycho, but she decides not to and walks to get her shit into the teleporter.
Okay, we can
I
kind
would
of
like to make a perception empathy roll.
Okay, go ahead.
I am going to choose to fail on this perception empathy roll.
Okay.
And not notice, because it's against a player and she made a choice.
You're like, I really want to know.
It's up to you. It's yeah. I
okay.
just
I kind of want to know.
Go for it.
Oh, I actually have to roll?
Yeah.
Just a second. Perception. I gotta choose one that I don't have any dots in. That's art. Oh, is this a contested? I got one.
I would
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You could you could contest it with a expression, I would say.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you would have gotten 2 or more, I would have just flat out said what I wanted to say.
Stealth.
But you only got 1 success, so I'm like,
I think it's usually subterfuge for these.
Yeah. Oh yeah, subterfuge would be another one.
Okay.
Plus manipulation. So yeah, manipulation plus probably subterfuge, unless you get an argument for something else.
Nah.
Phaedra probably has 10 dice for that.
20 dice.
Subterfuge. I only have 5, so
5 in subterfuge or 5 altogether?
5 altogether.
Oh wow.
I've got 3 in subterfuge and only 2 in manipulation because I put too many in charisma.
Ty goes to defender, so I'm gonna say that Phaedra was able to, hide her expression.
I look
enough.
back at you, Tycho, and I just say, when we get some downtime after we're busy, let's go get a drink.
Oh.
All right, then. I can't remember what initiated this. So
all right, so let's continue on.
Yeah.
We can kind of skip over. You guys can get kind of set up here with you set up the house, you set up the teleporter, you've got Phaedra moved in, she's probably got a laboratory going. Malakai's got an armory going, the shooting range with a bunch of bullets ready to be used if need be.
are we moving to the mom's house, or
I
are
guess that's
we
up to you
staying
guys, yeah.
mostly? Yeah, are we staying mostly in the construct, or are we kind of moving over to the mom's house? Actually, can I get um an idea of the relative security? And actually, I'll go to Malakai and say, like, hey, like, where's the safer place for us to stay? He's kind of the guy for that.
So Malakai, I would say that you would know that. I mean, Technogate seems to be like the most secure. It has a much better security system that has lasers and shit that can cut down enemies if need be. The house is pretty much a good bunker though. Like it would take more than a nuke to like wipe out the house basically.
Yeah. Uh, the house is a great door, and it is the door to our home that is Technogate. If no one knows we're down there, we're by far the safest there. We just want to make sure we have eyes on our door.
Yeah.
Unless if you want to sleep in your old room. I mean, you can be the door guard if you want. Or your parents' bedroom. That'd be so weird, sleeping in your parents' bedroom.
Yeah, no, that's never gonna happen.
Oh, one thing too, I guess, just to kind of retcon a little bit and just add a little bit more onto her message, is that she warns you that just because the Nameless has been destroyed and just because, majority of supernaturals have lost their lives trying to fight him, and there seems to be something else that's happening now that he's been destroyed. And to be wary of the government, to be wary of other supernaturals that may have been sleeping for a long time and have survived, and that the world is still a dangerous place. It just is no longer seems to be under the control of the Nameless, and but there is something else that is happening that is not the Nameless, and it seems a storm is on the horizon that is taking the lives of and barring us from the other dimensions. And she's experimenting with that, trying to breach the barrier, and believes that it may cost her life, but her life is embedded in the concepts of other dimensions and us having access to it, so she's willing to risk it. And that she'd been working on the other side of the barrier, basically, at this point, that she can't get home. And that's what she's trying to do as well. She'd been working from Inventum.
Okay, but the Avatar storm is over now.
But the Avatar
So-
storm is over, so she should have been able to get back, but she's not back.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw it out to the group, like, my first field trip is gonna be to Inventium. I think that's
I will help you.
pretty reasonable. I think we need to make sure that we're well established here. I wanna schedule it out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. We need to make sure this place is super secure. In the downtown, can we make it 4 weeks? That way we have 2 weeks to do research on that Kyle guy, or
Oh
3?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to.
because I'm gonna need like 2 weeks for preparing us with gear.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Because we don't have support anymore. if you guys get hurt, super hurt, I'm it. That's all you have. Is me. So I'm gonna need backup.
Yeah, there's a ton of prep work that would be good to get done.
Should we just should we just concentrate on this Kyle character for a minute? I kind of feel like that's a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like we can retcon some downtime, but let's go just take care of this Kyle guy. Let's go talk to him.
Yeah, we can say that, a little time has passed. You guys at least got yourself, comfortable. You're not 100% all set, but you're getting pretty comfortable. It's been a couple of days, since you got the teleporter working. You're back out in the outside world, and you guys, where Kyle lives. You know, that he doesn't have a job. He's got a degree, and he just got discharged from the hospital a couple of days ago.
How do you want to play this? Do we want to just go and just straight up talk? No, we were going to observe him first. We weren't going to talk to him. Yeah, I forgot about that. We should just go and kind of like keep eyes on his apartment and etc.
How are you keeping eyes on his apartment? Are you gonna get a satellite that's gonna look down upon him? Or are you just gonna physically go there? Or are you gonna set up cameras or use street cams?
I was thinking of just having insurgents following him, or insurance following him for a couple days. Like, we got shit to do. Like, all hands on deck. Y'all go do the things that you need, and I'll just go send insurance to go watch him for a day or 2.
Your animal is like that thing. Is that what it's for?
Yeah.
It's not going to explode if it's seen by somebody, is it?
I mean, I made sure he had chameleon DNA to blend into his environments, and he can't say complex things, but he's got like the IQ of like a 4-year-old. So I
it
could
can
ask.
tell you that it saw a Bibu Babu.
I'm gonna ask him: is he dangerous? Is he meeting certain supernaturals? The things that we really care about, and then if he is, then we could do better surveillance. For right now, I'm guessing we want to build up our weapons inventory, all of that stuff.
Yeah, we got to get our options up.
So I would say,
Okay, while you guys do that, I'll just go and surveil the apartment that he
Okay.
lives at.
okay. I was about to say the dog is gonna give you like there's some weird shit going on. Maybe it just feels weird, like, but wouldn't be able to really portray any great information to you other than this fucker's weird.
Do we have access to GoPros?
So if you go physically there,
that'd be easier.
You definitely get a sense that he's got a warded apartment that's up above. I'm gonna say Pincus, and which wasn't Pincus at that time. It was something else.
It was a weird ass sandwich shop.
Yeah, it still is a weird ass sandwich shop, but it was a weird ass sandwich shop then too.
It's a very nice sandwich shop now.
Yes, that's true.
Back in the early 2000s, it was a weird ass sandwich shop.
True. Um, so, you know that the place is warded, that you can't really get much, you you're not immediately able to break through the wards, unless you do something extravagant, but your basic scanning kind of tells you that there's, um, the other thing is that, you do notice that he only comes down to get food at the corner store, and then like seems to go back up, and that's the only activity that you've seen from him. You've gotten glances in through his windows when his shades are open, which is barely ever then. And you do see like, give me a perception plus alertness, difficulty of 7.
Damn. 1.
He's definitely using some sort of symbology. He's got a bunch of like weird symbols that seem to be on the walls, and like covering all different areas of the ceiling and weird shit, but you're not able to get a good look at what the symbols are. It always it's he closes the shades too fast when you do get a spot in.
So just on the off chance, because I know that Madison is very tied in with werewolves, and not necessarily looking for a role here, but werewolf lore,
No, werewolf
uh,
lore.
lo- location or individual.
Yeah, I would say that.
I'm guessing nothing.
Yeah, nothing really that you're getting from your werewolf lore.
Okay. In that case, I am going to ask for a perception investigation to kind of just glean some behavioral information that I can bring back to my team.
Okay, go ahead.
Perception. 2.
He seems to go down to the corner store about once a day at about 9 o'clock p.m. Just before 9 o'clock, so he can get beer. He does seem to have a bit of an alcoholic problem. He seems to buy a case a day.
Fucking Tavern League. Does he buy food?
He buys like sandwiches.
Okay. Okay. So he has food for the next day and beer for the night.
Snacks.
What's his general appearance? Do I know what kind of injuries he had? Are they consistent with the way he's acting?
So apparently he broke his back, and he definitely doesn't look like he's broke his back. Now, some people that break their back, it's not so bad because the vertebrae didn't get destroyed, but the report was that he would never walk again. He sure the fuck is walking right now. He also seems to, like all the other pictures you've seen of him, even on his Facebook, just like a week prior, or not Facebook, but what would be MySpace. He he has like a picture of him, just weeks before the event, and he has like short hair, really shaved. He's got the every college man kind of look to him, or not really college man, I guess he's in his mid 20s, but he looks like you're pretty boy, blonde hair, short,
it's
prim.
perfectly fine to be in college in your mid-20s.
Well, I mean, he was getting his PhD, so that makes
it's fine to be an undergrad when you're 25,
right? And he just got done actually getting his PhD, so he looks pretty normal in those pictures. Yes, he's got a PhD in what was it, astrophysics.
That sounds made up.
Well, yeah, it is. um, and he now he has has nice clothes on, collared shirts and stuff like that. Now he's got like a beat up um just black shirt on that looks like it's got some stains on it. Seems to be like the same black shirt almost every day. Every once in a while he might change it up to like some other, like a blue shirt, or just no real symbols on him or anything like that. He doesn't wear any kind of logos anymore, where he was, he would just wear all different types of shirts and shit like that. And he's got like beat up jeans that have got holes in them. His beard is starting to grow out. His hair is becoming shaggy.
If I have access to some of the devices at Construct via the house, because that's how we get in and out.
I think you're breaking up.
How about now?
Is everybody else hearing him break up, or is it just
Yeah,
me?
he's still breaking up a little bit. Try it again.
Oh, I hear you.
Oh no.
Nope.
Evil.
How about?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh wow, this is terrible. Probably because yeah, you guys can't hear me, so it doesn't matter.
I can kind of hear you. I can hear.
It's-
You can't hear. What matter?
Wait, let me show you. Just a second.
Nope. Maybe back out and come back in.
How now?
Nope.
Almost.
No, that is probably my actual internet.
The internet is evil.
Switch to somebody else.
All right, so
switch to somebody else.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We'll Tycho is investigating into him physically, and he kind of brings back a lot of that kind of information to you guys, and then kind of passes out after that because he's been up all night watching this guy. What do you guys want to do immediately with that information?
I won't lie. I didn't hear any of it. Give me the Spark Notes.
The Spark Notes on the information that he basically gets is that the guy gets a sandwich and some beer. He drinks basically a case of beer every day. He seems to get a new case of beer, so he's got a drinking problem. He just gets some basic sandwiches and snacks and stuff like that every day. He only goes to the corner store. He doesn't go anywhere else. He lives right above the corner store. He has some crazy weird symbology type shit seem to be all over the like walls, like painted on the walls. He went from being like prim and proper, college kind of looking kid to being he's got a beard now, his hair is all just long and scraggly at this point, and he's got holes in his jeans and just nondescript shirts that he's wearing that are all stained up and usually not clean for multiple days.
Okay. So he seems like the dude version of me. What I'm gonna do, I want to grab a journal and stuff as many of my conspiracy theories into it loosely, wear one of my raggediest t-shirts and a pair of jeans, my thickest glasses, and during a time where I know he's going to be getting groceries, I want to accidentally bump into him and a bunch of my things fall on the floor.
I'm going to casually watch from a distance.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see how long that lasts. I support her plan.
All right. So we're all on the same page still then.
Yes.
Oh, Amber, did you hear that it was Pincus? The corner store is Pincus.
Is that the one?
That was by my old place.
Yeah,
That
over by
corner.
Blair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Although in the year 2000, it was a sandwich shop.
It was still a
slightly different,
convenience
but that
store. It
doesn't-
just wasn't as
Yeah, it
nice
was.
looking.
Yeah.
Everything was shittier then.
Mm-hmm. Back in the
Shit.
day, man.
Oh God, it's terrible. All right, carry on.
All right, so you're going to do the like bump into him, spill out your papers so that he can see all your conspiracy theorists while he's going to go get his beer and shit.
Yeah.
All right, give me a manipulation plus subterfuge unless you want to try something else.
Can I do charisma or
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or or appearance cuz
Yeah, or appearance would work too. Just because the guy's gone crazy doesn't mean it means he hasn't lost his sex drive. Although that can happen when you're crazy. So.
2 successes. But I also look crazy, so I'm
Yeah,
likable.
So with 2 successes, so you bump into him and you do the whole like awkward, oh, there's all my stuff, and he does the whole like, oh, there's a pretty girl that I bumped into, I should help her with her papers, and he's you kind of get that like strong connection with him right away.
And I'm like, oh, I like your beer choice, because I think Phaedra legitimately does like his beer choice.
And he says, after you get through like the initial awkward bump in phase type stuff, he invites you up.
I
go. So when you get up into his apartment, one of the things you immediately notice is all of the symbology that's going on around. So do you have a cult?
I do.
A cult plus intelligence, difficulty of 6.
Two successes.
So you would identify this as being hermetic in origin for a lot of his symbology that he's put up around the walls. But you also notice that there... give me an Arret roll, difficulty of 3.
I've moved over to the doorway.
4 successes.
With 4 successes, all right. So Malakai, you're kind of getting closer to kind of make sure that if help is needed, you'll be there.
Exactly.
So with 4 successes on your Arret roll, I'm gonna say that you have like an understanding of kind of what he's doing here. He's using these hermetic symbols in order to like fuck with the magnetic, quantum physics of insanity, blah blah blah, that basically allow him to make it so that there's a correspondence effect around here where you can't scry or or any kind of teleport in or be able to use a satellite to spy on this area. You also notice though that there's a lot of customization that he's done to this stuff, that he's not following a lot of the standard hermetic protocols that
Does it look like
know
he modified things that he was taught, or is he self-taught?
It seems like it's more of a self-taught kind of thing.
Okay. I look at all of it and I'm like, this is awesome. Do you mind if I'm not gonna change any of the things. I'm gonna like grab a piece of paper. I'm gonna write some things down and show him my formula that would probably enhance what he's doing.
Yeah, he kind of gets into, he kind of delves into this whole like I've figured out, I've found all these books, and he kind of shows you all this kind of like he found like an old hermetic tome. He said he found it at like the library, and didn't have any of the library stuff on it, so he just took it. Um,
Can
and
I?
and he kind of fell into this whole stuff, and so he kind of is trying to explain, but he seems to be talking in a lot of babble to you as well, because he's talking in a lot of like, the old times and the old ways, and how reality isn't what we think it is, and um and he
Does
kind of
he?
is going off on like tangents on shit, and sometimes you can connect with him, but with your ret roll, though, I say that you kind of understand what he's talking about. He's just kind of crazy as well.
Does he seem more of a technocrat or?
He's giving off extreme hermetic vibes.
That's what I'm okay. Hmm.
And a lot of the book is very hermetic in origin, and it is like a true tome. But then he's got a lot of writings and stuff like that he's like showing you and shit, and he kind of keeps the book a little kind of precious-y about it. You didn't notice in your surveillance, but he was always carrying the book with him. It's
Okay.
not a giant tome either. It's actually a pretty small book. It's ancient as fuck, but it's actually like a little notepad and not very congruent with the times. It seems kind of like advanced technology for how old it is actually.
Gotcha. Okay. Uh,
Did you say that with her a ret roll, he was babbling, he's crazy, but everything he was saying like had a lick of truth to it or had a lick of sense to it? Was that
Yes. Yep, he's basically talking to her. She's interpreting this. You can interpret it in a like quantum physics kind of way, and a scientific kind of way, um, and and then the way that you guys kind of know supernatural shit. She's able to kind of interpret what he's talking about and understand that it's all hermetic, but you could translate it into scientific stuff, and it is true what he's talking about.
I was the best person to come in here because of all the correspondence that I know.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to tiptoe around what could have possibly have led to certain events. I'm coming at him like it's a conspiracy theory, but I'm saying what has possibly transpired in the last year. Uh, and I'm trying to gauge his reaction.
So he's kind of like, are you trying to get what happened to him or what happened to the world?
Both.
Okay, so what happened to him is in the last year he just got done with college. And then in the last few weeks he'd stumbled onto this book and started getting into like conspiracy theories about the government and them always watching you and stuff like that. And he was looking for, a way to, not be watched by the government basically.
Oh,
And that there's more to the world than just that. And so he stumbles upon this book that kind of teaches you all these crazy magical spells, and from there he starts like researching into it, and just it like clicked with him somehow, and like he ends up not sleeping for an extended amount of time. He's doing hallucinogens and like trying to become spiritually awakened, and just one day everything snapped while he was walking down the belt line. A car just veered out and smashed into him, and then all there like there's huge car pile up, this huge, he just felt rain all of a sudden come out of nowhere, and lightning and thunder. And then when he wakes up, he's in the hospital, and doctors are just like freaking out about how like you should never be walking in, but all of a sudden you're all healed, like not a scratch on him basically. And they just called it a medical wonder, and he just walked off. And now he's like even more paranoid because he thinks that, you know, the government's going to come for him, that this magic shit is real, and that somebody's trying to murder him, and it's probably the government, that they're trying to abduct him, that he's found something he shouldn't have.
It's not paranoia if he's right.
I open up a beer and I explain to him, try to alleviate some of that burden. I'm like, yeah, no, I 110% believe you. I don't 80% understand all that you can do because, and then I explain like how his philosophy is different from my own, but like we do things that are similar.
Are you going to
And
explain that he's fucking with reality though, and you're following the rules of reality?
I would caution him against certain things. Yes. I would say the way that you do things should be tested before done because it could break things. And then I explain paradox.
Well, you explain the concept of master, you know, fully under. You don't quite see paradox the way that that he would see paradox, which is what he kind of explains to you. You know, comes kind of back where you're like, there's a scientific method, and you just got to get things down. He's like, but there's also the concept of this paradox spirits that are out there, and you've actually interacted with paradox shit a little bit more than your average technocracy. So you two jive together and kind of get that kind of concept. But are you going to call him a reality deviant, like, and tell him that he shouldn't be doing
I'm not
what he's
hostile
doing?
with it. Yeah, no, I'm not 100% hostile with it. I'm more like, I just don't want you to like decide to do something one day and then you and 12 different blocks disappear because you fucked up.
Awesome. So I think we are going to we're getting towards the end here, and I think that this would be a good thing for us to kind of pick up with, and give me some time to flush out this character and some other stuff that I kind of want to do, that I kind of threw this all together, so I'm trying to, I'm going to build some more stuff on this, but, so let's kind of cut it there. Yes. Let's cut it there real quick for Phaedra. So I'll go to Tycho if you've got something that you want to do at the end, and then to Malakai.
Just a real quick scene with Malakai, because we're like standing outside, and I'm like, she's been up there for a while. When do we storm in? Should we? And I'm like, Malakai is external security. I'm internal security, so I'm going to scan the apartment. Probably just in a reroll. But we can do that next time.
Well, you would get nothing because of the correspondence stuff, or the words he has up for Prime.
Yeah. So I'm like looking up at the apartment, like, when do you think we should storm in and save her?
When we get the signal.
Yeah, no, she can probably handle herself.
At least we now know exactly where we're going. We're going into the box we can't see into. So, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hate that.
I think Phaedra's so drunk at this point she forgot that they were out there.
See, I just assume that you're gonna make a noise, and that'll be the cue. You know, that'll be the signal. I just want to be close enough. Speaking of, this whole time I've been trying to get into the building, like into the stairwell. And so if an opportunity presents itself, I would have been all like,
yeah, I'll say that there's a minor opportunity. I think there's more than one apartment up there. We'll say that there is, so like somebody else goes up there, and you're able to, or actually I would say you'd just be able to like shimmy the door at a certain point. You have security, don't you?
Ooh, security is more specific than I was expecting.
It might just be stealth or technology, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, security is not on our sheets.
Yeah, I got 2 dots in each of those.
Okay, so yeah, give me a a stealth or security plus dexterity difficulty of 6.
I believe that is my yes.
Because I actually don't think other people. I'm gonna say that there's only one apartment up there, so you'll have to
It might be
actually
one of
break
those
up.
like sell muse doors that you see, but like nobody ever uses, but they actually go to people's homes.
Yeah, that could be too.
But so I'm quite effective at
Shimmying doors.
yes.
All right, so yeah, you bust out your credit card and
So in which case I'm gonna be like one like just at the base of the stairwell, just listening into the apartment. Is it completely quiet? Does it block sound?
yes.
The things that he did.
Yeah, so
Is it-
you're able to get into the hallway, but there's still a door between you and him and a bunch of warding. So you're not beyond the warding at this point until you actually entered his house, which you could do. I'll give it just with the successes you had. If you want to get into the room or into the house, you'll have to do a stealth check not to be caught by Phaedra or this dude. But you could try and get into the building before we cut here, or into the actual apartment before we cut.
Yeah.
I would stop him before he did that.
No, what I would actually like to do is pull out a laser microphone and see if it's warded against forces.
Ooh.
Yes, yep, has the forces warding.
Okay, hold on. I got other options. There's a lot of ways.
You just try all your mythical keys.
Look,
Jimmy this
hey.
lock.
Trust
Alright.
but verify. I understand. But that's Phaedra in there. If something goes wrong, she's gonna let us know.
Is it?
We made it this far.
Is
Just
it warded from? We could be on the other side of the city if this is warded against all of our senses. Problem that I'm trying to overcome here. Is it warded against matter?
Not really.
So could it do a matter one roll to look through it, to like basically look through the walls and just see them not getting strangled or stabbed or
no, it'd be more correspondence. You could make them translucent. Like you could make the wall translucent and do some kind of roll like that, but you would have to actually physically alter the matter
material.
Yeah, so
and we would notice that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that, and I don't have enough mind to detect minds in there, see if one is under stress. In which case, I'm just going to turn to Tycho and tell him that I can't see anything that's going on inside of this apartment. Now that we're close enough to it,
Trust Phaedra. I understand that you are all about like security, but like she knows what she's doing most of the time. Kinda.
I love how that just fell through immediately.
Yeah, I apologize. I just have been relying on this idea that I had some inkling of what's going on inside of those walls this whole time. From a distance, so it would be diminished. But now that we're up to it, there is no way for me to tell what's going on inside of there, and I'm just struggling with that a little bit. So
we're like standing outside this dude's apartment door, and Phaedra's about to be like, "Hey, come meet my friends who are totally cool," and we're just gonna be out there like pointing weird shit at his door.
Well,
you got like
trying to
Ghostbuster like
scam the
shit out.
Yeah.
that didn't happen because he didn't notice it. I'm just saying that she also could be screaming, "Help, God, please help me."
Can I make a roll to remember that my friends were out here? Because
Yeah, make an intelligence roll, difficulty of 4.
just a straight up intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now's the time to botch.
Yep.
Just forgot my friends were well, I mean work colleagues.
Okay, I remember they're out here. I'm like, okay. After we've went through our philosophical differences, I'm like, there are more of us who are aware of the government and all of that stuff would you like to meet them?
And I'm going to cut to black on that, and we'll answer your question when we get to part 2 of the Kyle dilemma. So.
Okay.
Ooh. Episode name.
Yep. Had I failed that one, I would have been like, yep, nope, she's just like...
I was hoping for a botch, and I was going to say that you spent like all night just talking to him and totally forgot about your friends.
Oh, yeah, no, like, would have literally woke up the next day and wherever he sleeps.
I fucked him, so he's
I have
He's
woken
gonna
up
be
on
okay now.
couches. I've woken up on couches in that part of the city.
And you got married, so online.
It wouldn't have been the first time I grew up in Vegas.
All right, so thank you all for watching, and thank you all for playing. It was a blast. I'm glad to get back into Technogate again, and we are now Technogate 2000, so thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. Technogate 2000.
Good night, peeps and peepettes.
Say good night, Josh.
I did it.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. Yes. Good night. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. We got some stuff done.
Hey, we played.